Vanguard newspaper, and The Nation newspaper. All here for you this morning.
All right. Let's see. The Nation, right? Okay, so let's start with the Guardian newspaper.
All
The
right, the Guardian
Guardian,
newspaper.
yeah, the Guardian has a couple of headlines. Let's see. The Guardian. Beautiful. All right. The screaming headline from here on page 6, 2026 budget. NAS OK's 68.3 trillion naira budget shifts burden of funding execution to federal government. All right. The story is on page 6 of The Guardian. From the top strip on page 3, 2027 mass defections in House of Reps as 28 switch parties. Okay. Also on page 3, Middle East crisis, marketers urge federal government to consider temporary subsidy. Okay. On page 3 also we have this headline, insecurity, Tinubu meets security chiefs, summons Mutwang, that's the governor of Plateau State. On page 22 from the left strip of The Guardian, airlines lose 32.5 billion naira to flight delays, cancellations in 1 year. Airlines lose 32.5 billion naira to flight delays, cancellations in 1 year. On page 6, we have Transport Minister resigns as Adelabu shelves Oyo Guba ambition. All right, on page 4, deported Nigerians decry treatment in Mozambique as NIDCOM urges calm in SA. Page 7 has this headline, JAMB releases 2026 UTME mock results, blacklist 20 CBT centers. The story you'll find on page 7. Page 4 has maritime inefficiencies, delayed reforms cost Nigeria 5 trillion naira yearly. Okay. These are the stories we're tracking from The Guardian newspaper. Please get a copy.
From the Guardian newspaper, we'll go straight to the Daily Independent. The Daily Independent newspaper. The major story here reads, National Assembly passes 68.3 trillion naira 2026 budget, okays Tinubu's $6 billion loan. On the rate, you have Arts 9 trillion naira for infrastructure, health, 2027 elections. Clarifies 9 trillion naira increase in 2026 budget. Also extends capital budget implementation to June 30. Atiku slams lawmakers for approving $6 billion loan under 4 hours. Now, this directly under the major story this morning. On the top strip, 5 governors battle for health transformation governor title. This is according to Independent Awards. Terrorists who killed abducted citizens in Jos, Kaduna are heartless and cowards. According to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, that was his submission. He said terrorists who killed and kidnapped citizens in Kaduna and Jos are heartless and they are cowards. On page 7, stowaway scare at Lagos Airport exposes deep security cracks. You can find our story on page 7. Afrexim Bank backs Dangote Refinery with $2.5 billion in landmark $4 billion loan deal. That story is on page 6. On page 6 also you find after Kwankwaso move, ADC alleges federal government plots to hijack party leadership. All right, that's a huge one. Plateau killings. Ted Cruz accuses Nigerian government of creating enabling environment for terrorists. Directly under the major story, you find this one. Nigeria export outlook brightens as oil posts best month since 1990. Hope rises for Nigeria's forex fiscal position. All right, that's it from the Daily Independent newspaper this morning.
All right, next is the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see that. The Nigerian Tribune has these headlines this morning. All right, the Nigerian Tribune, the major headline here on pages 4 and 13, 30 reps move across parties, 14 join APC, ADC gains 9, PDP loses 12. The riders include we're leaving battered PDP for Wike on Thursday. Bauchi governor declares likely to join ADC. All right. From the top strip of the Nigerian Tribune, Plateau, Kaduna killings affront to all Nigeria stands for, says Tinubu. The riders direct security agencies to fish out perpetrators. IGP deploys DIG to Jos. And the Plateau government reinforces ban on motorcycle operators. That story is on page 3. Please get the details. Also on page 3, NAS passes 68.323 trillion naira 2026 budget. NAS passes 68.323 trillion naira budget 2026 budget. The rider approves additional loan of $6.9 billion within hours. This is huge. $6.9 billion.
That's under 5
this is
hours.
really huge. Okay. From the right strip, we have, rather the left strip on page 4, court orders final forfeiture of UK house linked to Jeremiah Hussaini. Page 26, troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandits in Northeast. Troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandits in Northeast. Let's see what the rider has. Foil mass abduction, rescue over 150 victims in Borno. The story you'll find on page 26. All right, from the right strip of the Nigerian Tribune, let's see. We have two headlines. One on page 5. Federal government unveils new standard for fairly used vehicles, says no certification, no entry. On page 6, Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion financing for Dangote Refinery with $2.5 billion commitment. All right, these are the stories we're tracking from the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
We're going straight to the Daily Trust newspaper. The Daily Trust newspaper. The Daily Trust. Major story here reads, Tinubu moves for new loans. Debt to hit 195 trillion naira. That's the major story on Daily Trust newspaper this morning. On the top strip this morning, Bala Mohammed mulls defection to ADC. Play 2, JNI confirms 4 members killed, 10 missing. Still on the top strip, 28 reps switch parties ahead of primaries. 28 reps switch parties ahead of primaries. El-Rufai returns to ICPC custody. El-Rufai returns to ICPC custody. You can find that story on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Commuters stranded as bridge collapses along Abuja Road. I hope they are safe. South Africans picket Nigerian High Commission over Igbo King. All right, this story made it to a couple of dailies this morning, but on a low key. 2027, ABBA versus Guyana again. This is like a question. ABBA versus Guyana again. 2027. If you want to know what that story is all about, you get yourself a copy of the Daily Trust newspaper. And those are the stories we're tracking from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Okay, let's quickly move on now to our next paper, The Punch. The Punch newspaper. The Punch have these headlines. The major one, federal government eyes oil windfall to fund 9 trillion naira budget gap. Many riders, let's see. Federal government raises 2026 spending from 58.12 trillion naira to 68.3 3 trillion naira. Government bets on oil boom. All right, fresh borrowing. National Assembly justifies budget hike, cites settling arrears and economic reality. Right? Tinubu's $6 billion loan request gets NAS nod. Jet set to climb. Exactly. All right, from the top strip of the Punch newspaper, these are the headlines. On page 7, Easter, DHQ orders troop alert, confirms US support. Okay. Afrexim Bank drives $4 billion funding for Dangote Refinery. The details you'll find on page 30. On page 2, we have 2027 Transport Minister resigns, Adelabu, others hold on. Okay. Let's see this one on page 8, right? Okay. Defection tsunami. 27 reps dump PDP, others for APC, ADC. Okay. At the bottom strip of the Punch newspaper on page 7, Plateau killings. Tinubu invites governor as death hit 28. On pages 4 and 5, Lagos CP withdraws task force from traffic duties. Okay. Page 27, CBN sets tough cybersecurity timeline for banks. These are the stories from the Punch newspaper this morning.
And up next is the Daily Sun newspaper. The Daily Sun newspaper. Major story reads, Knox, kudos as Senate okays Tinubu's 9 trillion naira budget hike request. Budget rises from 58.4 trillion naira to 68.3 trillion naira. Extends 2025 budget to June 2026 as capital project stalled. On page 27, JAM releases 2026 mock UTME results, delays 20 CBT centers. Federal government seeks tougher action on $88 billion annual financial leakages, says tax reforms already yielding results. On page 25, Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion loan deal to strengthen Dangote Refinery. On page 4, Defense Headquarters confident as US-Nigeria military collaboration will boost security. On page 29 from the Daily Sun newspaper this morning, Mba okays promotion, conversion of 2,114 civil servants. On page 20, El Rufai returns to ICPC cell after mom's burial. El Rufai returns to ICPC cell after mom's burial. And those are the stories we're tracking from the Daily Sun newspaper this morning.
Okay, let's move on now to the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard. The screaming headline from the Vanguard newspaper, Just Killings, Tinubu, Mutwang, NBA vow justice. The writers include Plateau wounds bow to terror, Mutwang declares, confirms 28 killed in gunmen attack on Angwan Rukuba. Enough is enough. Atiku Obi Kwankwaso demand action. All right, the story you'll find the inside page of the Vanguard newspaper. From the top strip, Nigeria's oil exploration drops 45% on limited activities. The story is on page 29. Page 29, right? Let's see that. Okay, page 20 of the Vanguard. Nigeria's oil exploration drops 45% on limited activities. Page 20. On page 7, court rules on El Rufai's bail today. Page 8, Senate extends 2025 budget implementation to June 30. Page 9 has APC pressuring INEC to undermine us after Kwankwaso's defection, says ADC. All right, Nigeria's debt to hit 155 trillion naira. A Senate approves federal government's $6 billion loan request. This is huge. 155 trillion naira debt. Okay. Let's see this one on page 8. 27 reps defect as APC strengthens majority in House. These are the stories we are following from the Vanguard this morning.
From the Nation newspaper, the major story reads, Senate, House passed 68.3 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill. On page 5, capital market investors net 30 trillion naira gains in Q1. Jos, Tinubu moved one security chiefs meet over violence. That's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. And on page 3 and 6, court orders forfeiture of Hussaini's London house to federal government. 29 reps defections take APC members to 280. That story can be found on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. Budget size rises by 9 trillion naira. Lawmakers okay $6 billion foreign loan for projects. Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion financing for Dangote refinery. All right, that's from that story virtually made it on every daily we took this morning. The Dangote refinery move to get about $4 billion loan. At least $2.5 billion has been approved. Those are the major stories from the Nation newspaper this morning. There are so many striking stories. Before we move away from the papers this morning, I saw first of all on this particular story caught me. I say from the Daily Trust, we had debt move to 195 trillion naira.
All right, there are many stories we'll review this morning. Yes, on our papers. A lot of them, this you mentioned now. And then, of course, we have the major one that concerns, all of them concern us in particular.
Yes.
But this one, Tinubu to security agencies, this is from the Nation newspaper, which we just reviewed now. Tinubu to security agencies, be more decisive. Okay, the story has it that President Bola Tinubu yesterday challenged security and intelligence agencies to be more proactive in preventing killings and abductions by terrorists and bandits across the country. Condemning Sunday's attack in Plateau and Kaduna states, the president said early warning attack signals must be acted upon decisively by the agencies. Also yesterday, the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, the Senate, and the Sultan Mohammed Said Abubakar led Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, the JNI, expressed outrage over the attacks. 28 residents of Gaya Waye in Agwam Rukuba, Jos North local government area of Plateau State, were killed and many were injured by suspected bandits. Tony, this happened on Sunday and
very sad.
Palm Sunday on Tuesday. We saw very gory pictures and videos.
I did not dare to watch any of them.
Dear.
I don't. For me, the only picture I could not unsee was the image and video of that woman carrying her dead child.
Yeah.
She was speaking Hausa and saying that the child is not dead. He's not dead. He's going to come back. He's not dead. And that picture broke me. The video broke me because I understood what she was saying, speaking Hausa.
Yes.
It just hit me directly, and a lot of questions were sparked in my mind. In developed climes, the president of that nation will react in less than 2-3 hours, condemning it, and actions will be taken, decisive actions.
Sure.
Before that, before Salah, before Eid al-Fitr Salah, right? Before the last celebration, there was a particular young man that did a video threatening that they will attack Jos Plateau State
Exactly.
after their celebration. That video went viral.
Sure.
Nothing was done.
Exactly. Here's the president is saying security agencies should be more proactive, especially when intelligence
This kind of
reports are
warnings,
given
yes.
out. Yes.
It was done. It's heartbreaking. And how long do we continue to see things like this? And sadly, we saw the Chief of Defense Staff, Oloyode, saying that terrorists are prodigal sons. They are our sons, they are our brothers, that they need to be given time to repent.
To repent,
But
exactly.
these people are killing every day.
Yes. They're not
This thing
stopping.
should be condemned
Yes.
at the highest level.
Yeah. So beyond just condemning it, what are the actions of our security agencies? Now we are saying the president just came out to speak on this 2 days after. Whole 2 days after the incident. And then we hear all the time they will fish out the culprits. They keep fishing out, but we don't see them. We don't hear anything beyond that.
It's sad.
And then the security agencies, they ask that they mobilize, they move into such areas. What are the reports, the positive reports we hear after such attacks have been done, have been carried out? And what exactly do our security agencies do to ensure that these kind of incidents don't reoccur?
I would say for now, they're not doing enough. They are not doing enough. Or when Christopher Musa became Minister of Defense, Nigerians applauded it because Christopher Musa is known as a very, very thorough person.
Yes.
But sadly, few months down the line, nothing has changed.
We're talking about a few months down the line. For years now, this has been...
No, I'm talking about
right?
his tenure as defense minister,
okay.
right? His tenure as defense minister. Nothing has actually changed, right? And Nigerians condemned in all its entirety this speech by the chief of defense staff. You don't make that kind of speech. You know the power you have, you know the position you have, you know the intelligence at your disposal. You don't make those kind of speech.
Yeah.
And also, it was sad to see the Minister of Defense at APC convention, the rally. He was seen there.
Why not?
No offense. It's not supposed to be there. He should be strategizing on how to rid Nigeria of all of these terrorists. These terrorists are becoming too bold. They go on social media.
Very bold.
Yes, they go on social media. They go live.
Yeah.
They go live on
Their
social
videos,
media. They drop
everything.
videos.
Yeah.
They even drop their loot.
Without even masking their faces anymore for
Yes.
some of them. Okay, Tony, let's move on. There are other stories, right?
Yes.
It's like you rightly mentioned,
Yes.
the approval of
$6 billion.
$6 billion
Yes.
for Mr. President.
According to the president, he said $5 billion is for infrastructure and the $1 billion is for the renovation of...
For me, is the speed
of
with
approval.
which they approved. Yes, the Senate actually approved it. Let's look at it from the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, it captured it this way. Let's see. Is that it? Is that the headline? Tony, you can check for it.
I think for me, it's...
Okay. Fiscal deficit may hit 35 trillion naira. 5.7. Let's see. Is that it? Okay. Let me see. Not exactly. Okay. Yes. National Assembly. Okay. 68.3 trillion naira budget. Okay. So it's different, right?
Yes.
This is different. The story of the borrowing by Mr. President
is on every paper. It's on every paper this morning.
To get a few paragraphs out of it. It's okay. This is what is happening in Nigeria. The Nigerian Senate has approved another $6 billion loan for Mr. President.
One
of the papers actually puts the total of monies borrowed in this current administration to about 155.
That's from the Nation newspaper.
Billion dollars, right?
Yeah. 155 trillion naira.
Okay, trillion naira.
Yes. Now, the Daily Trust has 195 trillion naira. We come down to the Vanguard newspaper. It says 155 trillion naira. Now, these discrepancies give us cause to worry.
To worry, yes.
Yes, cause for worry because the Daily Trust comes out to say, oh, it's 195 trillion naira. Vanguard, as big as Vanguard is saying 155 trillion naira.
I
So,
like the use of as big as Vanguard.
yes, Vanguard is a big.
Yeah, so the figures are
yes.
really not.
It's not balanced.
Yes, across the different papers we have reviewed this morning,
Yes.
there's no. They don't have a uniform amount to that. But the truth is $6 billion
Dollars loan.
Yeah, so the
has been
fraction is
approved.
what they are not sure of.
Yes.
That's
Now,
what they are dancing.
The issue of
Yeah.
approving this loan within 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
is, just imagine that the Senate,
Without consideration.
yes, just imagine that the Senate approves
Mm-hmm.
other bills to help Nigeria grow with this kind of speed and swiftness. I'm sure by now Nigeria will be like London.
That's it.
Nigeria will be like London, but we don't see moves like this. When now the president went as far as collecting or applying for $6 billion.
That amount.
$6 billion loan. Mind you, we are still on 2025 budget. We have not entered, even entered 2026 budget.
Okay, so this is the story. Okay, no, this I'm not getting it.
We've not entered 2026 budget.
We've not really. Yes. Okay, another disturbing headline. Yeah, 28 reps switch parties ahead primaries. Okay, 28 reps switch parties ahead primaries. The story is on every of the papers we have reviewed this morning. But from the Daily Trust this morning, the story has it that ahead of the primaries by political parties, a wave of political realignment is hit the House of Representatives, with 28 lawmakers defecting to various parties. This is what we see. So this is what we see, as it's almost looking like Nigeria is almost going to turn into a one-party state, even though the political actors have come out to say that's not true. They've come to refute that allegation, right?
What are you?
It's tending towards that now.
What are they refuting? What are they refuting?
Nigeria is not going to turn into a one-party state.
What are they refuting?
Yeah. Okay, so we have the APC, very popular now.
Yes.
Then we have the ADC trying to muscle.
Yes, with the likes of Peter Obi joining their ranks with
Kwankwaso. PDP, yes, in one of the headlines, PDP, they say, of course, is a staggering party now, right?
Yes,
because of the move and defections. Okay, let's see.
I would say for that particular story, well, I expected it. The likes of Nyesom Wike cannot eat his cake and have it. Okay. Right? Wike over time has made it.
Some of them have come out to say we are leaving the party. We are leaving PDP for
Wike. They're leaving the party for Wike because over time, Wike has harassed the party towards doing things his own way. Yes, he has harassed the party. He has embarrassed them at various points, right? If you look at what they are doing now, it's almost like, let's say somebody that is trying to find their feet. And it's sad because one thing is certain, if they continue like this, I'm not sure they are coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, we were talking about, we're not sure if they're coming back anytime soon, right?
Yes.
There are so many factions. There are factions within the
two
parties.
Major factions. Yes,
but that of PDP is really hard because already their wings have been broken. And then these ones still standing with PDP have come out to say, we're leaving. Let's leave the party for Wike.
Let's leave
they are
the
not
party
sure
for
of
you.
what becomes of PDP in the next election cycle.
It's quite heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's very heartbreaking for our once strong PDP. Yeah. Okay, let's see now from the Daily Trust. That story, Tinubu moves for new loan debt to hit 195 trillion naira. New loans, debt to hit 195 trillion.
That's from the Daily Trust.
That's the Daily Trust. It has it this way, yes. A request Tuesday by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly seeking over $6 billion foreign loan will push Nigeria's debt stock to over 195 trillion naira. Okay. This is just as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, expressed concerns over high debt vulnerabilities among low-income countries. The president, in two separate letters addressed to the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the House of Representatives Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin, said the new foreign loans would be used to fund infrastructure, debt payment, and ports rehabilitation. Tony. infrastructure.
Yes.
The money is $6 billion.
It said 5 billion. Like when he broke it down.
Infrastructure.
Yes.
Debt servicing.
Yes.
And ports rehabilitation. These same ports, right?
This same ports we keep hearing. It's just like they've left the part of renovating or rehabilitating our refineries. It's now the ports. We've seen them borrow over time, over the years. Oh, we're rehabilitating our refineries.
Yes.
We want to make sure that our refineries are working. But a few years down the line, nothing has changed. When you go to all of these refineries, you see that nothing has changed. The Port Harcourt refinery,
mine is the boldness. Yes, knowing full well that Nigerians are not seeing what these monies borrowed have been used for, or the monies from fuel subsidy removal they are used for, and all of that.
Yes.
My own is the effrontery
The
to
boldness.
actually keep borrowing.
Yes.
Without Nigerians feeling the impact of all of these monies.
I think
it's worrisome.
Yes, it's worrisome. And I think the only reason why they have been able to do this for this long is because Nigerians have not been able to hold them accountable. And
how would Nigerians hold them accountable when you have the Senate, you have the House of Representatives,
now,
who are supposed to be the voice of the everyday Nigerians, of everyday people, right? But they are already they've been playing along for so long. So who is going to speak up? Are you going to leave your station to go and speak up? Who's going to listen to you as a lone voice?
Now, this is how Nigerians can actually hold them accountable, right? First things first, there's this mentality that when you see some elites in Nigeria, they'll tell you, oh, I don't play politics.
Okay.
Right? That has to end. First things first, you cannot want Nigeria to change and you say you don't play politics. If you're in any religion, you say, oh, because I'm a clergyman, I'm a this, I cannot play politics. All of that should end. Come on,
really?
If you want Nigeria to change,
you've not seen technocrats who have actually gone into politics full time, and by the time they are either in the House of Assembly, the House of Representatives, or the National Assembly, their voices are not heard.
No, it mustn't be.
Okay.
It mustn't be you getting involved.
Okay.
What I mean,
from the sidelines,
yes, you must vote.
How many
would you must vote.
Okay.
You must be a part of the system. You must demand accountability.
Okay.
You keep talking about it. One thing is certain.
Yeah.
One thing is certain. A time will come. A time will come. Nigerians will hold the government by the jugular and say, give us what we deserve, or we don't actually let you in. There was something that happened in Zamfara State sometime. A lawmaker late last year, a lawmaker was beaten to pulp because he has been posting that he's doing things for his community, and he went back to the community that he said he was doing something for, and they said, you're not doing anything. And they brought him out of his car. His security men left him there. They beat him to pulp.
So Tony, what has that changed? Giving him more beating and all of that. What has that changed?
It served as deterrent to a lot of people.
That is just a case
out of many.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Well, since that happened, what has really changed? Has that community improved, or has that lawmaker in particular done anything different to ensure that his constituents feel the impact of his representation?
By further research, right? Some other communities, they just started seeing little projects here and there coming up, no matter how little, but those out of fear and concern. But I'm not saying
a lot is really happening, right? The constituents, Nigerians generally wish for better deal from their representatives.
Nigerians deserve it, actually.
Oh yes, they do.
Nigerians deserve it.
Okay, I think Tony, we can quickly look at this headline from the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay.
Court rules on El-Rufai's bail today. This story runs in almost all of the papers.
Yes.
Some El-Rufai back to.
They allowed him to go and bury his mom.
After the mom's burial. This in particular from the Vanguard says, court rules on El-Rufai's bail today. The story has it that, let's see. Okay, fixes June 17 for 1 billion naira suit against ICPC. Okay. The Federal High Court, sitting in Kaduna yesterday, adjourned ruling on the bail application filed by former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai till today, even as a separate Federal High Court in Abuja fixed June 17 to hear his 1 billion naira fundamental rights enforcement suit Against the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. Okay, at the Kaduna proceedings, El-Rufai, who is facing a 10-count charge bordering on alleged conversion and possession of public property, as well as money laundering, was brought to court under tight security for the continuation of his trial. The heavy security presence at the court premises mirrored the situation during his earlier arraignment before Justice Rilwan Aikawa, reflecting the high-profile nature of the case.
It's, the issue of El-Rufai has it's been on for a while.
Oh, yes.
I think a lot of things happened, right, when he received about 579 million instead of receiving 40 million naira, and that's 20 million per term. And if El-Rufai can actually not explain how those monies entered his account, then I think he should go in for it.
He should go in for it. Now he has.
I think he should go in for it.
Yes, he has filed his own charges against the ICPC.
Yeah. Unless he wants to say that foul play happened. If not, he should go in for it. And that should serve as a deterrent to other governors or legislators or political appointees that might want to misappropriate public funds. Nigerians are working way too hard to see their funds being spent carelessly.
Working so hard, but living like poor men.
There was this time lawmakers said, oh, they were going to give out 30% of their monthly pay to President Bola Tinubu to help Nigerians. Till that happened around August last year. Till this point, we have not heard anything about
And
that.
then, of course, we read just a few days ago when Mr. President celebrated his 74th birthday that he has been keeping his salaries for men of the Nigerian armed forces, especially their families of fallen heroes.
Of fallen heroes.
Yes. We hear some of these statements
When I hear stories like this, first thing every Nigerian will say, please give us evidence.
I should start planning to be leaving my salaries for, maybe we choose who we'll be leaving our salaries for. Because they just say these things, or we hear these things, or we read about these things, and then we wonder if some of these claims are actually done.
I feel they don't regard Nigerians. They just say things that they say
that they feel will please
Nigerians. When you hear things from Bayo Onanuga, like Daniel Boala did the other day, made a mess of the present administration and the country. You also hear people come out to say, oh, the president is doing well. Oh, the president has done this.
Let's see it. Let's feel it. Okay.
The people are asking, can we see these things?
Or some will come in shock. Like, when did this happen in the country I've been living in?
Yes, and it's when you hear stories like, oh, Nigeria, it will not turn to a one-party state. But APC has 31 states now in the country. Yes. You're telling us it's not going to turn to a one-party state.
And this defection by House of Rep member, APC has 12 whole House of Rep member defecting to join them.
Yes. It's funny when you hear things like this. You now ask the question, why will you say something like APC now controls 86% of Nigeria's government? 31 state governors out of 36. That's more like an A.
That's it. It's not more like an A, it's an A.
That's more like an A.
It's an A, right?
So I think they should not come out and say things like this, so you don't get to anger Nigerians.
No, they're saying them.
Yes.
However you react, they have told you.
They have given you it's your choice how you choose to react.
Okay, the last headline we'll treat this morning, Amechi, I'll resign as FCT minister if that is from Wiki. Let's read the story. A Federal Capital Territory FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has begged President Bola Tinubu to release the report of the forensic audit on the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, which he said indicted the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. Wike vowed to resign if the report is released and its contents do not indict Amechi. Okay, this is deep. Speaking on politics today on Channels Television, monitored on Friday in Abuja, Wike, who was responding to allegations by Amechi that he was corrupt, said Amechi's wife received 4 billion naira monthly from the NDDC to train Niger Delta women. Okay, so he has said he will resign if the forensic report on the NDDC and Amechi's activities in the NDDC prove otherwise.
That story has been on for a while.
Yes.
And I get, when I look at things like this, I said, I just
very personal quarrels, right?
I just get to wonder,
how would they add up to?
Where is the legislation?
Nigerians? Exactly.
Yes,
an individual will just come out, accuse an
what?
enemy or a perceived political enemy, and they come up with claims like this.
What are you actually doing? Were you appointed because the president appointed
as a forensic auditor?
Were you appointed as a forensic auditor, or you are appointed as FCT minister? You are like the governor of Abuja. Yes, you should do your work
rather than focus energy on very personal things.
We saw Nyesom Wike.
How does that concern the people of Rivers State? How does that concern Nigerians?
We've seen
exactly your personal battles.
Yes, meddle into affairs of Rivers State.
Yes. So let's even look at it this way.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's assume the forensic audit comes up clean and Amechi is exonerated. So will that make you say you want to resign?
Wike will not resign.
So you already believe
he will not resign.
already believe that the man is guilty.
Yes. That's
How come?
I must say the kind of government that is being run in Nigeria, it needs to be, they need reorientation, right? A lot of them are making a mess. From the president's angle,
I just think the likes of Wike should be called to order.
By who?
He should be called to order.
Did you see a glowing tribute?
Somebody appointed him. He wasn't elected into that position. He was appointed.
In January.
It's possible to call him to order.
In January, the president gave him glowing tribute. Glowing tribute. Said a lot of good things about Wike.
Yeah, because
said Wike was doing well.
Yeah, because really he's working in Abuja. But for the crisis, the internal crisis in Rivers,
if you're giving him those glowing tributes, then you should be able to tell him, "Oh, young man, please
focus. Do well.
Yes, focus on this angle. Leave this aspect.
Exactly.
We just want you in Abuja. Leave Rivers State. When you're done with Abuja, you can go back to Rivers State and be an elder statesman."
All right. We hope so. We hope that will happen someday.
Yes.
All right. This is where we draw the curtain on Papers Review on Morning Ride Wednesday's edition. We'll move on to our next segment, Tony.
Yes,
interview segment.
we have interview segments this morning, and we saw a man that understands sport. Exactly. When you look at Dr. Drew, the way he speaks, the way you know that this person actually understands sport, and you look at the Warri City Stadium talk, it goes a long way to tell you that actually we can get it right if we bank on people like this, and it's a good one.
Yeah, for me, the take here is sports development in Delta State. The much Governor Sheriff Oborewori is doing to develop sports in Delta State.
Yes.
And then, of course, the chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Honorable Onoriode Oborewori. There are lots you want to see in this interview on Delta State sports development, the inspection of the Warri City Stadium. Please come with us on this beautiful interview with Dr. Drew Uyi, a FIFA licensed agent doing very well in London. He's right here with us. All right, Henry Usiayo, please take it away from here.